Hello, fans of this little wrestling show, who I don't really know why you watch. TNA is officially moving to Destination America. I think I've stated this. This, though, does mean less money for TNA, which means they have to cut people and cut their budget. Now, the reason I say cut people first is they've got a lot of talent they can cut. Well, talent they can cut. They've got a lot of talent that won't draw a dime. Now, Destination America is a channel owned by the Discovery Channel of Networks. I've got it. It's channel 100 and da-da-da-da-da. I've watched it like 3 times. 3 times. I don't watch it regularly. And I guess it's like half the money Spike's paying them, so they have to cut a lot of money. Well, not really a lot, because TNA never made a lot of money. So I'm going to look at their roster here and tell you what talent they should cut. We're using air quotes because these people aren't that talented. This is who I propose we should cut. Now, Abyss makes a lot of money, but let Abyss finish his career in TNA. He's not that good anymore, but let him finish his career where he started. Bully Ray is already gone. He has said bye-bye and left. Next we come to Devon. Devon has there is only one point in Devon's career where Devon has drawn a dime without Bully Ray by his side as a tag team, and that is in ECW when Devon first debuted. And the Dudley Boys, or the Dudley Clan, because they weren't the Dudley Boys yet, were faces, and that was Bubba Ray and this guy and that guy, and there was like 8 of them because there was like 25 Dudleys in ECW. And they were fun-loving hillbillies. And Devon came in and he's like, I'm a Dudley and I'm kicking all your asses. And he was a face. And that's the only time he's ever drawn a dime without Bubba Ray. So cut Devon. For the price of 1 Devon Dudley, you can get 1 Joey Ryan and 2 other wrestlers. And 1 Joey Ryan, if pushed correctly, can draw more money than 1 Devon for half the price of 1 Devon. This is like a going out of business. This is a fire sale. It's a fire sale. We fire people and bring in more talented people and make more money. Oh, another thing they should not do, which we'll get to later, is don't bring in big names. Stupid people. Eric Young makes a lot, but let him finish his career in TNA. That's where he started. I have no idea who Havoc is. I don't watch TNA on a regular basis, by the way. We'll get to that later. Fire Garrett Bischoff. That man's never going to draw a dime. He has too far to go. He's never going to draw a dime. Fire King Mo, which we'll get to later. Lashley can stay. Fire Loki. Now, I know Loki is talented. He's talented. He's not a draw, though. I don't even think Loki is a draw in Mexico. And that's pretty sad. Now, he may not make the most money out of everyone on this list, but we're firing people who I know can't draw, and I know Loki can't draw a dime. So fire Loki. He makes decent money. Go ahead and let him go. We don't need him. Who else do we got? We can't fire Matt Hardy. Sorry. And I'll tell you why we can't fire Matt Hardy. Matt Hardy is another one of these talents who make a lot of money. He has never been able to draw. In WWF, he was a mid-carder / jobber. In ECW, he was a main eventer, but that's because they didn't have anybody. Matt Hardy has never been a draw by himself. He never will be a draw by himself. But if you fire Matt Hardy, you risk losing Jeff Hardy. And Jeff Hardy is a draw. Jeff Hardy, he may make a lot of money, but he can make you a lot of money. He is a draw. So you can't fire Matt Hardy because you risk losing the draw, which is his brother Jeff Hardy. So you gotta pay the younger, untalented guy to keep the talented guy, and it kinda sucks. Who else do we got? Mike Tenay is not working full-time anymore. He's only working part-time. Mr. Anderson and MVP. I'm going to cover these two real quick. I love Mr. Anderson and MVP. I liked them in WWF. They're both very talented. And I'm not going to use air quotes here, because they're both very talented. They're both good on the mic. They're both good in the ring. They're both very talented. They could both be the top star. Mr. Anderson, the last 2 times I've watched him, has phoned it in. Literally, I think if he could be in California on a cell phone telling a mop how to wrestle, he would do that. Because that is how bad he has phoned it in. He'd be like, hello, mop. Yeah, hit him in the face. Yeah, hit him in the butt. Yeah, dance around the ring a little bit. That's what Mr. Anderson is doing. So fire Mr. Anderson. He'll go back to WWF. He'll phone it in a couple years. He'll retire. He's phoned it in. Let him go. We don't need someone who phones it in. MVP. I have no problem with MVP. But he gets paid a shit ton of money, and he's not going to make that money back. He is not worth the money you're paying for him, but he's right on that line. You know, that line is, do we fire him? Do we keep him? Well, if you have the money, keep him. If you don't have the money, fire him. He can draw, but he's not going to draw a lot. But he can draw. If he was in the Wild West, he'd be alive until someone better came along. Fire Rampage Jackson, which we'll get to later. Fire Rhino, because... do I need a reason to say fire Rhino? He's old, he's over the hill, and he's never drawn a dime in his life. Literally, Rhino could not get a quarter out of a vending machine. Literally, if Rhino went to McDonald's and they had a leave a penny, keep a penny tray, he could not take a penny. That's how little Rhino is worth. There are a lot of young guys on this roster. I don't know who's playing Shark Boy, but it's not the 2 guys who played him before, so go ahead and keep him. Fire Taz. Taz is the reason I stopped watching TNA. Taz is an idiot. Taz is an asshole. Taz is annoying me. Taz is proving even a good announcer can be bad. And Taz is proving also we should eviscerate him. Does anyone else remember Al Snow when he was an announcer on Sunday Night Heat? No? Well, that's because I'm really, really old. Al Snow was a good announcer. Fire Taz, stick Al Snow in that position, it'll work. Believe me, it'll work, it'll cost less. Because Al Snow's working for TNA anyways, he can work 1 night a week as an announcer. That's it. That's my entire firing list. Now let me explain why I said to fire King Mo and Rampage Jackson and any other MMA guy they bring in whose name is not Bobby Lashley. Bobby Lashley loves the business. Bobby Lashley can talk on the mic. Bobby Lashley can wrestle. Bobby Lashley can do things involved in wrestling. Wow, I'm almost at 10 minutes. This is a long fucking video. The MMA guys cannot. They are like watching fingernails on a chalkboard. Actually, they're not as good as fingernails on a chalkboard. They are like watching rusty nails on a chalkboard being done by Wolverine, who also has his claws on the chalkboard at the same time. And not his metal claws, his bone claws. Take a minute and imagine that. That is how bad these people are. Don't bring any more in. Another people you should not bring in is any more big, huge names. We do not need any more Hulk Hogan's or Ric Flair's or Mick Foley's or Booker T's or Eric Bischoff's. They don't help your company. Now, if you want to bring Jim Cornette back, bring Jim Cornette back. If you want to bring Vince Russo back, bring Vince Russo back. But no one else. Those two can make you money. No one else can. Look, I just cut the roster and saved TNA almost $3 million a year. And we can hire in a couple young guys, save $2 million a year. And look, we have a better show. Look at me. I'm better at running TNA than Dixie Carter. Amazing.